If you're deep in the world of coding with AI assistants, you know how quickly things can get, well, chaotic. Today, we're going to look at a tool that's designed to bring some serious order to that chaos. It's called Claude Squad, and it's basically an AI agent manager.
All right, let's just dive right in. If you're a developer using AI tools, like Aider or Claude Code, you have absolutely felt this pain. You spin one up to tackle a bug, then you get another one started on a new feature, and suddenly your terminal is just an absolute war zone.
I mean, it's a mess, right? You've got terminal windows all over the place, you're trying to switch your brain from one task to another, and worst of all, you're getting conflicting code changes from different agents trying to work on the same files. It's a recipe for a headache.
But what if you didn't have to deal with that? Imagine for a second you had a central command center, kind of like an air traffic controller, but for your AI assistants, making sure each one stays in its own lane and on its own mission. Well, that's exactly the idea we're exploring today. And that, of course, brings us to the tool itself. So let's meet your new AI manager, Claude Squad.
So what is it really? Well, the official definition kind of says it all. It's a terminal app that lets you manage multiple AI agents, each in its own separate workspace. The big takeaway here? You can finally work on a bunch of AI-driven tasks at the exact same time without them crashing into each other.
And the benefits here are huge. You can have your AI agents just running tasks in the background, completely on their own. You manage the whole show from a single terminal window. You get to review every single change before it gets committed. But the real game changer, the absolute killer feature, is that each task gets its very own isolated Git workspace, which means, no more conflicts from your AI helpers.
And this isn't some tiny, obscure project. These features are clearly hitting a nerve with developers. The project has already racked up nearly 5,000 stars on GitHub. That's some serious social proof that this thing is solving a very real problem.
All right, so we get what it does. But, for a developer audience, the how is always the interesting part. So let's pop the hood and see exactly how Claude Squad pulls off this magic trick.
The beauty of it is in its simplicity, really. It just combines three powerful battle-tested technologies. First, it uses tmugs to create completely separate, isolated terminal sessions for each agent, so there's no crosstalk. Second, it uses Git Worktrees, which is brilliant, because it gives each of those sessions its own clean Git branch to work from, no code conflicts. And third, it wraps all of this up in a really simple terminal user interface, a TUI, so you can control the whole thing without any fuss.
And for those of you who are curious about what the tool itself was built with, it is overwhelmingly a Go application. And that makes total sense, right? It's perfect for a fast, modern command line tool like this one.
Okay, that's enough of the theory. Let's get practical. How are you actually going to use this thing day in and day out? Let's look at your command and control center. The whole workflow is super intuitive, and it's all keyboard driven. You've got simple keys for managing your sessions. You hit N for a new session, capital N if you want to start one with a prompt ready to go, D to kill a session, and of course you can navigate up and down the list with the arrow keys or the classic Vim-style J and K. The actions are just as easy. So you pick an agent session, you hit Enter to attach to it, and give it some new instructions. When it's done its thing, you can just hit S to commit the changes and push the branch straight to GitHub. Or maybe C to just commit and pause it for later. It creates this really clean, efficient cycle. Attach, instruct, review, commit, and then you just move on to the next thing.
So by now you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds pretty awesome. How do I get my hands on it? Well, the good news is you can be up and running in literally seconds.
Before you install, you just need two things, and they're tools a lot of us already have on our machines. You'll need tmux, which is the terminal multiplexer it uses to create those isolated sessions, and Git, the official GitHub CLI. Once you've got those two, installation is just a one-liner. Seriously. If you're on a Mac or Linux with Homebrew, it's a simple brew install. If not, there's a universal curl command that'll work pretty much anywhere. You'll be ready to go in no time at all.
It all really comes back to this quote from the project's own docs. It just nails the whole value proposition. Manage everything in one window. Isolate every task. Eliminate conflicts. It's all about bringing sanity and order back to your AI development process. And that really brings us to the end. This tool represents a new way of working with AI. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. How would having a dedicated air traffic controller for your AI agents actually change your development workflow? I mean, what could you build if you could deploy a whole squad of them, all working together in perfect harmony?